It's real. It's the real deal. It's authentic and it's yours. RJR 94 FM, the People's Station.
The station you can call on. Talk radio 94 FM.
Just because you do a lot of talk.
RJR's Hotline with Clive Mullings. We're not just talk, we're substance.
Okay, welcome back. Of course, you know, especially on this program, we always want to extol the virtues of scholarship and academia, not for the sake merely of academia, but especially when it seeks to look very carefully at your own circumstance and where Jamaica fits. And in that regard, I have the distinct pleasure of having with Mr. Jermel Shim, a Jamaican author. Welcome to Hotline.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, you wrote a book, and it's The Long Road to Progress for Jamaica.
Correct.
And the achievement and failures of the post-colonial era. First of all, tell me a little about yourself and why you bothered to really write a book about this.
Yes, so my name is Jermel Shim. I was born in Jamaica, went to high school here, Kingston Technical High School, and then worked with Alcon Jamaica Limited, now Windalco for 6 years.
Yes.
And after that, I went to Canada to pursue studies in engineering, mechanical engineering.
Yes.
And after I graduated from Queen's University, I went to the USA, where I worked as an engineer for 29 years.
29 years?
29, yes.
Yes.
Retired in 2010.
Retired?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And I have always had an interest in writing, especially about social issues, politics. And so after I retired, I started to write about political issues in the States, you know.
Yes.
And I've written 3 books since that time.
Yes.
One related to racial job discrimination in the workplace.
Yes.
And the other was about racism in America. And I also wrote a book about President Obama titled Whom God Has Blessed, Let No Man Curse.
Yes.
And then the 4th book is, of course, the book The Long Road to Progress for Jamaica.
Yes.
Which is I've always been interested in politics in Jamaica. And so I keep in touch through the Gleaner and the Jamaica Observer online.
Yes.
And I got a lot of information. In fact, I used to post comments to a lot of articles here or there.
Excellent.
And that was how I got the idea to write a book about Jamaica, because I was somewhat disillusioned, like most Jamaicans who live in the States and in Canada, disillusioned with the problems, the persistent problems here. You know, that, caused me to think about what I could do to make a contribution. I said, maybe I could write a book, and I hope this book will help to maybe stimulate people to start to think about some of the serious problems, how to deal with it, what they can do, their interaction with the politicians to get, some of the issues resolved.
You know, thing about Mr. Shim, why I want to commend you, because yes, your training is that of engineering.
That's right.
And you could have, and let's face it, I mean, worked for many years in North America. You could just retire and just be gardening. But no, you saw it fit to commit your thoughts to writing.
Right.
And to comment on the situation, not only in North America, but in Jamaica.
Right.
What would you describe as some of the failures or challenges in the post-colonial era in Jamaica?
Well, I think a lot of it, the systemic problems we have are political corruption, the violence, the high, murder rate.
Yes.
And then, of course, the economic problems, with the dealing with the IMF.
Yes.
The loans, all that over the years, which has probably made things more stagnant in terms of development.
Yes, or debt trap.
The debt, balance of payment, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think some of the more serious problems have to do with the social problems, crime, corruption, and if you don't have those problems solved, it's going to be difficult to make progress or to get things to the stage where you can really take control of the society.
And have some that level of progress that empowers persons.
Right, exactly.
Would you say that education has not provided the kind of upliftment to the extent that it should have in Jamaica?
That's probably true. Education is always a key component in it, when it comes to progress and development.
Yes.
And yeah, I am aware that there are some issues with the school system, like buildings not being maintained properly, the discipline problems that some school have.
Yes.
Because we see it in the news quite often, where we see students committing violence against other students.
Yeah.
So there's some issues there. So yeah, education is a key, and you have to. The government has to probably do a better job in terms of not just educating young people, but providing opportunities for them.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Shim, because I also believe that personal testimony also assists in how we see where we are, and also how we communicate to others what's possible. And of course, you went to Kingston Technical High. You've been to Queen's University. What drove you, unless you're someone who has been well healed from very early on? What drove you? What gave you that sense, that ambition to say, listen, there is more to be had, and I want it?
Yeah. Well, from when I was a child, I was, ingrained with the value of education, having a good education. So I know that value. My parents instilled that in me.
Yes.
And so when I graduated from high school, I went to work with Alcon.
Yes.
And I was able to enroll at CAST, College of Arts.
Oh, yes.
Not that it was started on a day release program sponsored by the company.
Yes.
And from that point on, I began to realize that's the only way you're going to make progress in life.
Absolutely.
Is to get more education.
Yes, CAST now UTech.
UTech, yeah.
Yes.
We have upgraded it, so
Yes.
that's another progress. That's good progress.
Yes. Is there also the issue of the family life and family structure?
Definitely. I think that's another. There are several components to the problems that Jamaica is experiencing.
Yes.
And the family structure over the years has been a problem, with families being broken up due to migration, leaving children behind, or maybe leaving a spouse behind. And that in itself creates instability within the family.
Very true.
And it can manifest itself in different areas, maybe violence, crime, all sorts of different things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so your book, this Long Road to Progress for Jamaica, you highlight, you say there are achievements,
yes,
and there are also failures.
Right.
What would you regard some of the achievements that we have been able to record in the post-colonial era?
Well, I see achievements in almost every sector of the society. There's in cultural achievements, in
Yes.
sports, in infrastructure development with the highways.
Yes.
That's probably a big one, because you see all these nice highways right across Jamaica.
Yes.
That's comparable to highways in North America.
Yes.
So that in itself is an achievement.
Yes. Yes.
But there are a lot of achievements, but the problem is that they have been eclipsed by the failures.
Well put. Yes,
Yeah.
eclipsed by the failures. And so to get things in perspective, we have to reduce the level in which we are failing.
Right.
Yes. You think that your book now, where is it going to be available? So a person have a read and have a,
It's going to be available at Kingston Bookstore.
Kingston Bookstore.
And in
okay.
fact, we are having a book signing on Friday at 4 p.m. at the
Excellent.
Legany bookstore.
Yes.
And then on Saturday, there's going to be one in Portmore.
Excellent. Yes, thriving place that,
That's a city by
itself.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes. All right. Well, I really want to thank you and congratulate you for writing so many books. It's not your first,
Okay.
but also for taking the time to focus on your homeland. And it's very important that, because this is a legacy. Yes,
It is,
after your eyes are closed, what have you left? And here it is, a body of work that people can look at
Right.
and read and have the benefit of.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jermel Shim.
Thanks for
Shim,
having
I
me.
beg your
Shim,
pardon.
Thanks for having me.
Yes,
Yeah,
and it's
appreciate
a pleasure is indeed
Okay.
ours here
Thank
on
you.
Hotline. All the best to you.